Hey everybody, it's James here with the Sawyer Family Reviews channel. Today is Wednesday, August 28th, I think, 2019. This is your weekly comic book pickups video. Every week I pick up my boys at least one comic each. Oftentimes it's more than one. I pick up my daughter some comics as well. And as always, I pick up my comics at Queen City Comics in Fairfield, Ohio. Zip code 45014. If you're in that area and into comics, go check out that comic shop. And also go over to the toy department while you're there. Let's jump in. First of all, this is for Gracie. She's been saying I like Spider-Man books all the time. So I got her this Spider-Man book. SpiderMan Adventures number 6. This is an old series that is based on the the cartoon. So if your kid is young and they're wanting to get into Spider-Man books and you want just a simple Spider-Man versus bad guys story, hit your back issues and grab some of these because they're cheap and they're fun and the art style is neat. I don't think I got her this one before. But even if I did get her this one before, she won't notice. She'll just take it and love that she's got another Spider-Man book. This is by Nell Yomtov with Alex Saviuk doing the pencils. And this cost me, I think, $1.50. Okay. This is also for Gracie. She gets 2 books this week. Oh, by the way, there's no True Believers again this week. Still no True Believers. There were a ton of books this week. So many new books on the wall with so many different covers. It was crazy. But this one came out this week. It is by IDW. It's a one-shot, and it's $4.99 from Tangled, the series. Here it is. She likes Tangled. And, you know, even though she says, I always want Spider-Man, when I brought her Spider-Man last week, she's like, oh, you always get me Spider-Man. And I'm like, but you told me to always get you Spider-Man. So I got her this as well. Looks like there's 4 stories in this thing. It's a big honking issue. I like this art. And I guess there's different artists in the book, maybe? Let me go back and look. Has to be, right? There's art by 4 different people, but they all have a very similar look, which I think is pretty cool. You know, it's not drastically different between each story, and it's a neat style. So she'll like that. Okay, now we get on to me and the boys. Stop sliding, Bucks. Why do you slide? Okay, fine, you can slide. Okay. Absolute Carnage number 2. This is the big Carnage crossover by Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman, the guys that handled Venom for so long. This is $4.99. This book is for Keaton, and it's the big symbiote crossover deal. Up until this point, I was able to get Keaton all the different crossover tie-in stuff too. There were 2 other ones this week though, and he has 3 books in the stack, and I just couldn't keep going crazy. So I got him just the regular issue and then the Venom issue that ties in. But there was also Absolute Carnage Lethal Protectors, which was Iron Fist and stuff like that, and Absolute Carnage Miles Morales. So there were a bunch of Absolute Carnage books this week. This is neat. He really enjoyed the first issue, and I heard good things about the first issue online too. That it was like a fun book to read. And I guess it's all symbiote action. These guys were good on Venom, so I can't imagine that this would be anything different. If you enjoy that, you'll probably enjoy this. And that book is going to slide. That book is going to slide. Okay, whatever. This book is for me. Power Pack Grow Up, Louise Simonson. Yes. I was very excited when I saw that she is actually writing this book. I was never a huge Power Pack fan, but what I did read, I did enjoy. So the fact that she's on this book, June Brigman doing the pencils, Roy Richardson doing inks, colors. I don't know. I was figuring I'll give it a shot. Louise Simonson's a great writer. So, and I did enjoy Power Pack. So what I've read of it, I didn't read a ton of it, but I did enjoy what I read. So I'm checking this out. So if you're a Power Pack fan, it's probably because Louise Simonson. And there you go, back in $4.99. I'm interested to see what that's like, if it's like a story at a time or what, because like the Brooder on the cover and Kitty and Wolverine in their old outfits. This book is for me, and I probably should have it lower in the stack because I'm looking forward to it. But here it is, House of X, issue 3 of 6. This is the week, well, it goes back and forth weekly between this and Powers of 10, Powers of X, whatever you want to call it. And this is Jonathan Hickman's big X-Men story that's kind of resetting things. And so far, I've really enjoyed it. This cover is awesome. So far, there's been connecting covers for each one. So this connects to Powers of X number 3. They go right together. This one's got Cable and Gambit. A bunch of my favorite guys. Phoenix. So far, the House of X has been more grounded in one time period, and Powers of X, whatever you're going to say, has jumped around. There was a big reveal about a long-time X character and them having a power. I'm not going to reveal anything or say anything about that because I don't want to ruin this story for you, because it has been really enjoyable. Sabretooth was captured in, I believe, the first issue, and Cyclops tried to get him turned over to them. So this is all happening with where the X-Men have Krakoa and they produce this miracle drug. I don't want to ruin anything, so I don't want to go too much forward. This has been really enjoyable, like really, really enjoyable. Like, I get excited about these now. House of X and Powers of X, I get excited to get this book and read it. Like, I go and pick up the kids from school, and I sit there for a bit and I get to read, and I can't wait to get there so I can read this. All right, this one's for Keaton. Venom number 17 by Donny Cates with Ivan Coelho doing the art, I guess. And this is a Absolute Carnage tie-in. Cool cover. This is $3.99. Again, if you like this book so far, then you'll keep enjoying it. But I would say this would not be a good starter issue. Since it's an Absolute Carnage tie-in, you might be kind of lost. Unless you're actually reading Absolute Carnage. And this book is also for Keaton. Transformers number 11. This is the Transformers reboot book, where it's a bold new era, so it's a nice starting over point for new readers. These are $3.99, and so far Keaton has really enjoyed this. I read the first couple, and I thought they were fun too. It's got nice, clean art. It's understandable. It was easy to jump in and not have all this continuity behind it. And you're not that far behind. 11 issues, that's not too much to catch up on, if you decide you want to get into that. This is for me, Marvel Comics number 1000, which this numbering is silly. Where did they come up with 1000? They just arbitrarily decided, hey, let's say we have 1,000 issues of Marvel Comics. They did this because there's a Detective Comics 1000 and there's an Action 1000, and they wanted to keep up with them. That's the only reason this book is 1000. Great cover by Alex Ross, though. 80 years, 80 creative teams, one universe. Here's all the creators on the back. Huge list. $10 comic. It is big, it's beefy, and it's square bound, which is cool. I have no idea what's going on in it. There's a ton of different stories by a ton of different creative teams. I'm sure there'll be some that I enjoy. I'm sure there'll be some that I don't enjoy. And then they have, at the end, they have an in memoriam page for all the people that worked on Marvel Comics that have now passed away. There was a bunch of covers to this. A bunch. But for me, this Alex Ross cover was the best. I mean, that's just so cool. You got the giant-size X-Men homaged in there. Amazing Fantasy 15. Yeah. Cool stuff. I don't know if the interior will be any good, but that cover sure is nice. Blaze had no books this week. And Keaton had so many books that I was like, you know what? I'm going to go look at the trades and see if there's a Conan trade that's somewhat inexpensive. And this one was only $14.99. And it's, let's see. I don't know what all it collects. It doesn't really say. From Conan issues 35 and 36. Phoenix the Sword. Tales of the Head from Conan number 40. So I guess it's just some random issues by Tim Truman, Paul Lee, and Dave Stewart. The Spear and Other Stories. So I grabbed this for him because he's been on a Conan kick lately. I just figured, why not? You don't have a lot of other books, why just grab filler? Grab you something that you can enjoy and stick on your bookshelf. And that's published by Dark Horse, back when they had the Conan rights. And last but not least, XMen Milestones Inferno trade. For me, this is $35 and collects Exterminators 1 through 4, Uncanny X-Men 239 through 43, X-Factor 35 through 99, New Mutants 71 through 73. This is one of my favorite X-Men stories of all time, X-Men Inferno. This is the comic that got me, when I was younger, to go, I think I now want to buy every issue of a comic and keep it. Like, up until this point, I just kind of randomly bought comics all around, just random issues. I didn't care about what issue I got, and I didn't really keep them. I just kind of had them sitting around the house, didn't have a space to keep them in. But X-Men, this story is when I decided I want to get as many issues of this as I can. I want to keep them. I want to collect them. I want to start going to comic shops. I want I want to be a comic book collector. This is the story that got me started. This is, you know, probably something that I'll get in the X-Men Epic collections, but these milestones are cool, so they're all together, just one story in this, and they've been doing all these stories like Mutant Massacre, Fall of the Mutants, Extinction Agenda is going to get one. There's a bunch of them. So I don't know why. I'm getting these too. I'm getting the Epic collections and I'm getting these. I like X-Men, so why not get them? So yeah, that's it. That's it for today. Not a huge day, a couple cool trades. Marvel Comics 1000 is interesting. House of X, can't wait to read it. And some fun stuff for the boys. So, what'd you get today? Leave a comment down below and let me know what you're buying and reading. If you enjoy the videos, click like and subscribe, click notify. I don't know for sure yet if we're going to do live stream Sunday or not. It's a little tougher with school going on. I'll make an announcement on the community tab at my channel if we are going to do it or if we're not going to do it. Either way, I'll make an announcement on there. If we don't see you this Sunday, though, we'll see you next Sunday. Yeah, I guess that's it. See you guys.